the Texans revealed their plans with the number 2 overall pick to all the head coaching candidates. Well, of course they did. Of course they had to, right?
No.
What do you mean?
No, you
wanted them to know if you come here, we're going to get a quarterback.
Well, you want the team.
Otherwise, you're not an attractive job at all.
Well, yeah, but I think you finesse it and you say, like, I'd be interested to see how it went, because I think you want to say, for like D'Amico, you say, I don't know, what do you think? What are your thoughts on what we should do? We have an opinion, but your opinion.
They might have done that anyway.
If you're the head coach, your opinion's going to matter just as much as ours does, So
they might have done that anyway, though.
Yeah, if they just say, well, this is what we're thinking right now. But, of course, if you take the head coaching job, I mean, it's completely up for debate because you need to see these players. That's how you do that.
Well, yeah, but here's the deal is, listen, as much as if you're the Texans, it's not like you're the 49ers. It's not like you're the Cowboys. It's not like if you're the Texans, you got to sell that guy too. I mean, because all of these guys that they were interviewing are interviewing at other places too. You have to be somewhat attractive to a head coach. I don't want to come here and be David Culley or Lovie Smith.
No, but the number 2 pick is yeah, I mean, you could ask that question, but here's the thing. D'Amico Ryans, for example, doesn't know the players in the draft yet. This is just the reality. Coaches, he just came off playoffs. Yeah. These guys work so hard. I had a dad who was a coach. I know this is the case. Now, he's going to know like a Bryce Young, because a lot of coaches will watch football on Saturdays.
Dude won the Heisman.
Yeah, no, he'll know, and he's from Alabama, and he'll know some of those guys.
Yeah.
But he's not going to know, he may not know Tyree Wilson, for example.
No.
He's probably not going to know anything about Tyree Wilson.
He doesn't have to know Tyree Wilson. There's zero chance you're getting Tyree Wilson.
And there's a good chance he knows Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, actually.
Yes,
so,
yes.
yeah, that's one of those things. But, yeah, I don't – but if D'Amico said, well, hold on a second. I want to go through the process and get through these guys, watch the tape. I think they would have been fine with it. They would have said, oh, yeah, for sure. We don't want to make it. We don't want to tell you who you're drafting. But I'm sure D'Amico's just fine if the plan is – I tell you what is a little nerve-wracking. Okay, so did you get my text I sent you?
About the teeing it up?
Yeah.
I didn't get it. What was that?
I want you to look. Don't say it out loud. Just look at the text.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I looked at it a couple times. I didn't know who it was.
Well, why don't you look at the name at the top?
The name at the top.
Uh-huh.
That's where I was lost. I didn't. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I'm just telling you now, I wish I had a ticket in Las Vegas for Texans trade up to 1. Yeah. I wish I had been able to make that in January, because that prediction is coming true. The Texans are not going to get beat for Bryce Young. They are going to trade up.
Okay.
And because Jim Irsay came out and like, hey, what about Bryce Young? Like, golly, at least you know where he's coming from.
I got it now.
Yeah.
So there's a story out this morning that several general managers are convinced the Bears are trading Justin Fields. Convinced the Bears are trading Justin Fields and taking Bryce Young.
It's 100% possible.
It's
100% possible, because what it does is it resets your clock on rookie contracts. You're not sure if Bryce is
you're not sure if
Justin is developing as a passer, and he's gone 2 years, and then he's a heavy running quarterback who just had an injury issue, which is your big concern with quarterbacks who run that much.
You're not doing anything for the next couple of years.
You didn't draft him.
Right.
Ryan Poles didn't draft him. I could totally see that, because I think in the big part is it's less about Justin Fields. Well, it is about who do you like more, but man, if you like him about equally, if you say I kind of like Justin, you've now reset your rookie clock.
Yep.
5 full years. You've set it
with a better passer.
With a better passer going back now. Not as good a runner and not as big and potentially durable, but you've gone from 3 years left on rookie deal to 5 years left on a rookie deal.
It's dangerous in that, like we've been talking about, nobody his size has ever done it. And if he gets injured right away at 190 pounds, if he gets injured and is chronically injured. Now, he hasn't been at Alabama, and he's played Georgia, he's played Tennessee, he's played Florida, he's played all these big, deep, strong, fast defensive ends, and he hasn't been injured. He had the shoulder injury because he fell on it wrong, which happens to a lot of guys. That has happened, but it's not like he hasn't been durable for Alabama.
No, he has.
And you're facing the best competition in the country.
A shoulder. You just want to make sure they come back quickly, like it doesn't take him longer to come back from.
But he did. He did this year.
But let me also throw this one out there. I think the Chicago Bears want it out there. They've already said they don't even know who they like everybody. They don't like anybody. Like the Chicago Bears, it also might make some sense for them to start planning that kind of stuff too. Like they plan on trading Justin Fields and drafting a quarterback. They might even say Bryce Young. They'll say a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to generate, well, wait a minute. Before you do that,
right?
What if we offer this?
Right.
I think this could be, for that
smoke.
to be out there, I think this could be smoke.
It absolutely
I think this could be smoke.
I mean, it's a great move. Irsay couldn't have helped more with his comments, putting it out there that the Bears are for sure going to trade
the Texans,
Justin Fields.
The Texans are going to draft a quarterback. All that does is spike the Colts up, and maybe even a team like the Raiders or whoever. Like
there is no
in a draft that didn't look like it had as much juice at the number 1 pick to trade out. It looks like it's gaining some traction because you're starting to create leverage.
There is no chance, right, that they trade the 2nd and the 12th.
No, to move up, that would be a bad move. Well,
there is no chance.
Okay,
right?
I say that would be a bad move. You would be trading, let's say, like I said, Will Anderson and Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of, I'm just throwing, or Devin Weatherspoon or Joey Porter Jr., another cornerback, one from Illinois, one from Penn State. If I put names to it, I want to see what you think.
Okay, put C.J. Stroud and put Musgrave.
Okay,
for Bryce Young.
I mean, I like it, but if you get your quarterback right, if you get your quarterback wrong, it sets you back.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, it sets you back a couple years.
Suppose Stroud is good.
Yeah, that's right. No, if Stroud is good, then that's fantastic.
It's terrible because
I'm talking about if you drafted him.
If you trade it,
yeah, unless your guy's good too. I mean, it's about getting the best quarterback, and you have to have conviction in your analysis and your evaluation. So ultimately, you rely on how you see him, and you're convicted with this guy's this much better, or this guy is not that much better, whatever the case may be. Yeah, that's why the evaluations. We talk about with trading back, gaining picks. It's all about. Ozzie Newsome was a great evaluator. Mm-hmm. That's why this thing about tanking and you got to get this pick.
So is Howie Roseman.
So is Howie Roseman. These guys aren't drafting the top 5.
No,
and they're drafting Pro Bowlers and all pro players, and so it's so overrated where you draft. It's so unbelievably overrated. What matters is how you evaluate talent. That's what matters. And the Texans have never proven to me that they're great talent evaluators. I mean, Rick had some hits in the first round, not just hits, big hits.
Big hits.
But he had just major failings on day 2, which didn't used to be called day 2. It was just second round, but now day 2 is second and third round, which is a very important day. I mean, that fills out starters.
Yeah.
And they weren't good with that at all. So Howie Roseman, he's been good with it. Landon Dickerson, for example, is an example. That's a starter. They have. I mean, it's all over the place where you can find that. Jordan Mailata, the rugby player who's turned into a really good left tackle. They got him in the 6th or 7th round. Just picks all, and then smart. Darius Slay, Hassan Reddick, smart free agents who actually they paid money to. I mean, they actually gave good money to these guys. They didn't just sit there and. We're gonna be frugal with second wave, which I'm a fan of. They actually hit with their free agents. So I would be disappointed if you traded 2 and 12. To me, boy, you got to have a really high grade unless you got it right. And if you get it right and you got a quarterback who's a top 8 quarterback in the league, then I have no problem with
all the era of good feelings would disappear. All the DeMeco.
Now you mean if he wasn't a player? Because if you get Bryce Young, people are still going to be excited.
But they're going the criticism for this organization for giving up the 2nd and the 12th.
It doesn't matter what the criticism is. How do you end up? Because that goes away if you win. That goes away.
It's right here. Sparky, dumbass franchise.
Yeah, no. I know that's you. They were a dumbass franchise. A lot of people thought when they drafted J.J. Watt. You take your credit. There's nothing you can do about it. The Eagles were stupid for not drafting Ricky Williams and drafting Donovan McNabb. Like Josh Allen. What a bunch of idiots. That's just going to be the case. You can't do anything about it until you play games. And if you get it right, that's more important than any criticism that you get. You have to have conviction to stand by what you believe and not be worried about if Sparky's going to call you a dumbass on Twitter. Well, because Sparky's going to call you a dumbass and probably has multiple times.
Well, but is Sparky wrong?
I don't know. Well, let's let it play out. We can't grade a test that hasn't been taken. You got to let it play out. I don't know.
No. Well, absolutely, but
I know what I want to do is that typically I'm going to look at the trade chart and see, because the trade chart doesn't really matter in certain years. Like, it's a fluid chart. It's not the be all end all. But I'm going to see what the trade chart would say, because
what does moving up from 2 to 1 mean? One guy off the board. And it's not like, and here's the deal. It's not like this is Andrew Luck. It's not like this is Peyton Manning.
Okay,
it's not like this is Bryce Young, who is iffy, who has a player of his stature has never succeeded.
You know what it is? The trade chart is literally in the neighborhood of your first. It's not even actually your first second round pick. It would look like giving you pick number 47 on the trade chart. It would look like pick number 47, 46 in that neighborhood.
It would be a lot less harmful. It would be a lot softer blow if you had to give up pick 33.
So what would happen is you'd give up pick 33 and you would try to get the Bears' 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
Is what you try to do. You try to get pick number 102. They wouldn't give it to you because they need picks.
But let's say that but if the Colts say take 4, because listen, 4 is still going to be a good player. We'll give you 4, and we'll give you next year's first rounder.
Or what if they said 4 and 35?
4 and 35 is not as good as 2 and 33.
No, if 2 and 33 is offered, they're taking it.
Yeah,
the Bears.
Well, not if they offer 4 and first, you get next year's first.
Right, that's true. But they need. I just wonder if Ryan Poles feels any pressure with trying to get now. I mean, you shouldn't, and he is going to build for process. But you just never know. With Chicago media too, they get pretty fired up, and so do the fan base, and so, but
that would be one.
He didn't have a 2nd-round pick this year.
That would be one where I think the fan base would be, and the media would be like, hey, there's a lot of people that would go, hey, this is a great move. This is a team that needs a lot of stuff. They traded out. They still got a great player. They're going to get another great player. Justin Fields showed improvement. Just shut up. This is good.
Yeah, no, that's true. They don't have a 2nd-round pick this year.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, that they would get. Basically, you would get, for example, with Houston. Well, with Houston, you would. Oh, with Chicago, I mean, with Indianapolis, you get the 4th pick, which would probably, I would think, would guarantee you Carter or Anderson. So you'd get one of the top defensive players and maybe the top player on your entire board. But then you don't have a 2nd-round pick this year, and you still need offensive line help. I mean, it's the smarter move is taking the 1st next year from the Colts. But that could easily turn into. If you get the right quarterback, that could turn into a pick in the 20s, which is better than a pick in the high 30s. Yeah.
Better than 33.
Only it's just, it's now versus later. Do you have the patience? I know Poles a little bit. He strikes me as a guy who has the patience. He is not a panicky. No. He is a very process-oriented
guy. I got Art on my side. He agrees with 100%. This is not Luck, Manning, or Lawrence.
No. Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best quarterback in the draft. Bryce Young is definitely the best quarterback in the draft.
There are so many questions, though. So many questions.
There's only one question.
His size.
There's not so many questions. There's actually only one question.
Yeah. Well, no. The other question is, his size. But nobody his size has ever done anything in the NFL.
Right. It's a big question.
It's a big question.
But there's not a lot of questions. That's the thing is, when you really break it down, there's not a lot of questions. It's just, it's just the size. It hasn't happened. Once again, it hasn't happened since 2001 when Doug Flutie started. That's the last quarterback his size that made a start in the NFL. Unless we're counting that wide receiver from Denver who started during the COVID year.
We're not counting him.
Hinton or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Chris Hinton. Yeah, we're not counting him?
No, we're not counting the wide
emergency wide receiver when 3 quarterbacks had COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not counting him.
Okay, well, we don't count him, then Bryce Young is the smallest in 21 years.
Yes, and it's scary to, quite frankly, giving up what you're going to give up.
Can I ask you this question?
Might be a blessing in disguise that they're second.
Can I ask you this question?
And everybody's so pissed off. It might be a blessing in disguise.
Can I ask you this question? Do you remember who won the 1986 Slam Dunk Contest?
Spud Webb. Thank you.
Do you remember who won the MVP and who had 3 home runs against the Boston Red Sox in the ALCS?
Eddie Goodell.
No, in 2017.
Oh, that would be Jose Altuve. Thank you. What about Eddie Goodell?
Yeah. Do you remember who drew a walk?
That's right. A little person.
A little person did. So let's see. I've got an MVP.
Do you remember who started for the Arizona Cardinals at quarterback?
Yes. Do you remember whose right now number 3 in the world at Call of Duty? Kyler Murray.